Good evening, my lovelies. What it do, what it do, what it do. This is Yaakov coming straight from that Spiker Star, aka the Messenger, aka the Virgo Goddess, aka the Daughters of Zion, aka that Topaz Gem Sapphire. And listen, always have a message for you, but it's up to you to discern what Ms. Yaakov was trying to say. Remember, I'm just an outsider looking into your world, see things that you just don't see, okay? But dig this here. The name of this is called Having Kids is Selfish. It's a reaction video. Hold on.
That's selfish, but who's really selfish? Me consciously making a decision not to bring somebody here who might regret living, or you bringing people here against their will? When you have a kid, you are bringing somebody here against their will. They never asked to be here. You bringing them here into the system where they're gonna be forced to get a job, forced to pay for shit, forced to figure shit out, forced to figure all this shit out, when they could have just never had to figure this out again. And it's just a really interesting conversation. And I'm like, how many of us told our parents, why did y'all have me? Why am I here? Like, why, so many of us regret that our parents had us, bro. But people still make the decision to forcefully bring people here who gonna have to deal with this bullshit ass system. Willingly bring people here. Why? Why are you bringing a kid here? We already overpopulated. It's not like I hate when motherfuckers use this old biblical ass, we need to populate the earth. Bro, we got too many people on earth. We fucking killing nature. We killing Mother Nature as we speak. There's already too many people on earth. So your reasoning for having a kid can't be, oh, we need more, we got to keep the species going. There is over enough people to keep the fucking species going. We actually need to lessen the species, because the more of us, the more land being broken down, the more resources being, like, that's such a bullshit ass excuse. There's a lot of people who have kids who is.
It's a lot to unpack there. And let me just say this. I totally agree with her 100% wholeheartedly. Because I made several posts myself, like, why is people having all these kids? Like, what's the purpose in having all these kids? Like, my whole thing is, first of all, before I even get to that, let me just say this. When you start breeding a bloodline, when you become one flesh and breed a bloodline, that is a marriage covenant that belongs to the God of Jerusalem. It don't belong to physical man. It belongs to God himself. Okay? So if the sinner isn't aligned with God's principles and his covenant, they shouldn't be having no kids anyway, because they ain't going to do anything but be condemned. So what's the purpose in having kids? Just so they can be condemned and to watch them suffer. Like, I never understood that concept. I never even understood that concept. Even when my mom had me, I'm like, I think about it like, if my mother didn't have me, what would I be doing right now? Like, what would I be doing? Like, I think about that sometimes. Okay, because my mother didn't teach me nothing. I had to learn what life was about on my own. I was thrown to the wolves. And I had to learn what life was really about on my own. Okay? And no, they don't teach you anything, because the parents don't even know anything. And that's another thing. They don't even know nothing. They just having kids just to be having kids. Like, that stuff was never designed for man to just sit up here and have kids to suit his own narrative. But it's another thing too. Deuteronomy 28:18, it says, the fruit of your womb will be cursed, and the crops of your land, and the calves of your herds, and the lambs of your flocks will be cursed. These are people who are not part of God's covenant. Okay? These are people who are not part of God's covenant. Okay? And then Numbers 14:18 says he punishes the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation. So he punishes the children for the sins of the parents. So again, what's the sense of y'all having all these kids? That's selfish as hell. That's mad hella selfish, like, for real, like, real talk. Like, that's selfish to be having all these kids just so they could be condemned and for them to suffer, because God ain't going to do nothing but punish the children. okay, on the sins of the parents, okay? This is what I'll be talking about. Like, if you're not right with God himself, you have no right or no authority to be having kids, because you ain't going to do nothing but pass on generational curses, and they ain't going to do nothing but be condemned, okay? And you got the nerve to be the captain of the ship, okay? This is why I don't want no kids. I don't want any kids. I don't. Maybe in another life. Maybe in another life when things are better and greater, because life keeps on going and going and going and going and going. The only thing is, I won't be in this form here. I'll be in another form. I'll come back in another form. Okay? But I don't want no kids in this work. There's no food here. There's no food here. What are they going to eat? Fake food? I don't want to feed my kids, my livestock, fake food, bioengineered food. You got to be a selfish individual. And before I break on out of here, let me just say this. If you want to be condemned, that's your business. But when you start breeding a livestock, it's your responsibility to save their souls. Y'all just focusing on this right here, the physical form. No, this physical form is only temporary. This physical form is temporary. What about their souls? They never stop to think about them kids' souls, because they don't give a damn about their kids' souls. They don't even care about their souls, let alone having children and caring for their children's souls. So the question still remains, just as she said, why y'all having all these kids? Like, what is their purpose? They not serving God's purpose. Your children's supposed to serve God purposes, not your purpose. They're not supposed to serve man's purpose. They're supposed to serve God's purpose. Every firstborn of your flock is supposed to be sacrificed and consecrated to God himself, not the government. Okay, not the government, not Hollywood, not to be a drill rapper, or none of this other foolishness that y'all got going on. So the question still remains, why you having kids? What's the purpose of it? Anywho, I'm about to get on out of here. It's that Spiker Star, the brightest star of the constellation. Hey, listen, I'm not having no babies by nobody. It's very selfish. If you want to go down to the burning blaze, you go down there by yourself. But to drag your children down there to the burning blaze with you is a different type of selfish that I just don't respect. I don't respect it at all. Anywho, it's that Spiker Star looking into your world, see things that you just don't see. I'm out.